Hey everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. So today we're back at Fuji in grade 3 cars this time. And I gotta say this has to be one of the most competitive races I have ever been in. So it's race C, 12 laps. You have to use both medium and soft tires. And we're starting in P8. This race got extremely close until the very end, so make sure to stick around for that. So through the first corner, there's already a car that's gone spinning. Thank God for ghosting there. So up into P7, already 3 position gain there. And ahead of us we have the Spaniard there and the Corvette, who we're going to have a nice battle with for now. And ahead of him we have the Austrian, remember him for later, the guy in the Red Bull livery there. I don't know why that was so hard to say. So behind the Corvette here then, as we go through the hairpin, we're going to try and make a move around the outside, try and hold it around the outside. We're going to go for the switchback on the exit. And this is probably one of the best moves I have done this race. Side by side through the 2 flat corners here leading into the chicane here, which is a very difficult chicane, very cursed. Plenty of carnage always happens there, and we get the move done as we go right to the bumper of the AMG Merc driver there. As we go through the right-hander here, once again quite a tricky corner. You can see him going slightly wide. I think there might have been a bit of contact as well with the British there. And through this left-hander, second to final corner, we go a little bit wide, a bit of a tap from the Spaniard there. I think that was the same guy that we overtook a few seconds ago. And through the final corner, now this is where the power of the Corvette really shines. Because we all know how fast the Corvette is in a straight line, and if I had the slipstream, this straight is a massive advantage for me. Through the first corner, very late dive bomb, somehow worked, I'm not complaining. Up into P5, so pretty good start here from P8 up to P5, as we still go side by side though with the British here. As we fight for P5, we're gonna try and stick around the outside, but it's quite risky, so we back out of it. And as we go through the long right hander here, I absolutely hate this corner because it's very difficult to get right. You can really lose a lot of time here. And into the hairpin we go. Not quite close enough for a move. We're forced to settle in behind a bit here, and all this battling is allowing the Austrian to pull away. And if you look at P6 or P8 now, I believe that is, the Dutchman there, remember him for later, keep an eye out for him. As we send it down the inside there, you can see there's a bit of contact, a bit of spin. Dutchman takes advantage of that, goes up into P6, and is now right behind us as we go into P5. So, skipping forward a little bit here into lap 3, midway through lap 3. Dutchman now is going to be quite close behind, but we're also going to be very close to the back of the Austrian here. And 30 fast 2 right-handers here, completely flat. Massive advantage with the Corvette as well as the slipstream. Through the chicane, we're going to get as close as he gets, honestly, without touching him. So, lining him up for a move here, ideally along the backs or along the main straight there on the first corner. That's probably one of the best opportunities to go for a move. Slightly wide through here, so this could have gotten us outside of slipstream range here. If it wasn't for him also making a similar mistake through the second to last corner, and is also about to make the same mistake on the final corner here. You can see him going very wide as we straighten out the exit as much as possible. And if you look in the radar, Dutchman also quite close behind. So look at the gap here at the start of the straight. It's about 9/10. And just look with the power of the Corvette how close we managed to get by the end of the straight. We're right on his bumper once again. So we gained about 7/10 there just on the straight alone. The moment we just touch it within that slipstream range, we immediately, the advantage is massive in the Corvette. So, staying right behind the Red Bull here as we go through the right-hander here, the long right-hander. You can see him just kicking off some dust there. That might just have slowed him down a little bit, but we are unable to capitalize on that too much here. And slightly wide through there. And look in the radar. You can see the Dutchman there slightly for a few milliseconds there. As we go through the chicane, overcooking it slightly on the brakes, just avoiding him by going slightly on the grass. And Dutchman now putting us under pressure behind us. We're gonna have very nice battles with the Dutchman pretty much until the end of the race. And now going side by side with him already. Through here you can see us taking a very, or you can see me taking a very tight line through that corner. Just, you know, make sure we defend the inside. And the same thing through the final corner here. But we don't exactly get, we don't hit the apex correctly, and that's gonna allow him to slot ahead. But that's actually a bit of a more advantage for me, because now I'm going to have the slipstream. And before we even got to the corner, we were pretty much ahead of him. Just to show how big of an advantage the Corvette has in the main straight. We overcooked it slightly on the brakes though. And yeah, he defends that move quite nicely and stays ahead of us. So we drop down into P6. And now we're just trying to gain that position back. And you can see the Austrian as well pulled away quite a bit as we go slightly wide through there. And by lap 5, this is where I started struggling a bit with the tires. You can see I've already overcooked it. The Aston Martin slots ahead. And you can see, just especially the front left, the understeer was absolutely horrendous. So I decided to go in the pit lane here on lap 5 to switch over to the mediums. The Dutchman also went in the pit lane. So let's see whose strategy is going to end up being better. So we hop in the mediums, fresh new mediums. This is where we're going to need a pretty quick lap here if we're going to make the undercut work. And the Dutchman, I believe, is actually closer than he was. So he must have gotten a better pit entry, or maybe just faster pit stop, if that's the thing. I'm not sure if all the pit stop are the same here. And he's making a move on the Russian. And for the second time this race, I go for a very, very late dive bomb that somehow magically works. So up into P9, before any of the guys ahead of us even pit. Actually, a few of them pit. That's why we were in P10 earlier. So we gain a few positions. And later on here, as we go on the fast right-hander leading into the chicane, the cursed chicane here, which plenty of carnage always happens there. We're going to try and make a move around the Dutchman, down the inside of the Dutchman, slightly later in the brakes, and once again he just slots back in front. But this shows that our strategy has actually kind of worked here, because we're very close to the back of the Dutchman. Indeed, we nearly were ahead of the Dutchman here. And as we go through the back straight, or the main straight, why do I keep calling it the back straight? We might have an advantage, and we even get ahead of him before we even get to the straight. So, strategy quite successful here, if I may say so myself, with the medium on the softs, or from the softs to the mediums. However, the main disadvantage that you're going to see here is at the end. So as we go through the back, or the main straight, god damn it, as we go through the main straight, you can see we actually got all the way up to P4, so we actually gained a couple of positions. As we go side by side here with the Dutchman through the first corner, he's trying to make a move around the outside, still going side by side. It's quite risky to go side by side through this next corner, so he's just going to back away from that. And yeah, we remain in 4th place. So mission successful. We undercut most of the people there and we got up into 4th place. And we even send it down the inside here to make it into 3rd place for the 3rd time with a very, very late dive bomb. We're just later than him on the brakes. It was a bit too early. And yeah, that somehow worked. And this is as well where all the people, such as the leader now, is actually going to go into pit lane. So it's actually, the leader is quite late. You can see in the top left now, he's just gone into pit lane. It's not going to make much of a difference for us, so that's fine with us. But you can see how late he managed to pit there. That puts Italia in the lead. So, however, this is where I start struggling, because we were on the mediums. It means we had the advantage at the start of the race with the softs. Now near the end of the race, we're going to be struggling horrendously. So already the Swedish guy, they're starting into P3, very easy overtake for him. And we drop down into 4th. And the Dutchman as well. We're going to try and just maximize the slipstream, you know, take advantage of that as much as we can. But the Dutchman now is also going to be quite faster than us as we overcook it majorly here. Nearly onto the grass once again. And yeah, that loses us a bit of time to the Swedish guy. I think that put us outside of slipstream range, which is going to be a big disadvantage. And as we near the end of the 10th lap, this is where we start really struggling. So you can see the Swedish guy actually got himself a half a second time penalty. It's not going to be affecting him in any way, shape or form. However, for us, we understeer slightly there onto the curbs, and that allows the Dutchman to get ahead of us. And we go side by side as well with the Aston Martin there of the Spaniard. We get the advantage of the slipstream from the other Aston Martin for a few seconds there. And immediately, the moment I get ahead of him, because of the power of the Corvette, I immediately go within the slipstream of the Dutchman. And as we go through the first corner, defending from the Spaniard there, as we have the inside line, we defended that nicely there as he slots back behind. And there he goes. We remain in 5th place. However, not for long, because the advantage they're going to have, especially on the final lap. Just wait until the final lap to see what happens. It's ridiculous. So Aston Martin there quite easily sending it down the inside there, but we're going to have the inside of the couple of corners here, as well as the hairpin, so we might be, or the chicane, so we might be able to defend it once again. down the inside. Yeah, we defend that quite nicely. Behind him as well, the Austrian there has finally managed to overtake him. And we settle in behind the Dutchman there, MP4, so that allows me a bit of breathing space there from the guys behind me with the tires. However, through here you can see the Austrian just pushes me slightly from the back, presumably because his tires are also not on their best state. And he gets the position back, and I get a bad line through here, slightly wide, and as we go into the back straight here, yeah, with the help of the slipstream, you can see just the advantage we have here with the slipstream as well as the power of the Corvette. He was even kicking some dust towards me, and we're gonna be ahead of him before we even get midway through the straight. So yeah, absolutely ridiculous power here with the Corvette. It's just the power of the Corvette. It is so incredibly quick on the straight line, and through the first corner we managed to get that position back nicely, so we remain in P5 for now. However, final lap of the race, lap 12, this is where it goes down south very quickly. So through the S's, or through the chicane here, you can see we make a big mistake, and through here we also slightly overcook it on the brakes, and the Brit there goes through, as well as the Austrian, the AMG there, it also goes through. So absolute pain. We lose 2 positions in one corner. We're dropped down to 7th right on the final lap of the race. So absolute pain, and you can see just how much I was struggling on these tires to try and keep up. I was really pushing them far beyond what I could. See, plenty of squirming, plenty of oversteer and understeer all over the place. And yeah, even the Spaniard, he got really close, just slingshotting past us through the back straight onto the final stretches of the race. So we could have even lost 7th place. But keep in mind that we started in 8th, so honestly, not really that bad. The strategy could have been better, and I actually tried a different strategy. I'll be posting a short on that later, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that. Also, don't forget to like the video because it really does help out a lot, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.